Hello, I'm Mike from Terralec. Today I'm going to talk you through the basic setup of the Cobra flat RGB Parcans and the Cobra Control24. So first of all, we're going to daisy chain up the DMX control. So we take a cable out of the DMX out on the back of the controller. On this controller you've got two options, 3-pin or 5-pin. Today we're going to use the 3-pin. So we plug that in, and then we plug into the in socket on the first light. And then we can daisy chain all the DMX lights, all the DMX cables together. So out of the out socket into the in socket of the next one. And you do that for all your lights up until your last one. Your last unit hasn't got a cable coming out of the output, so we can put a DMX terminator in to that one. Okay, so we've daisy chained up the DMX control cables. On these lights you can also daisy chain the power as well, which is done by IEC to IEC cables. You can do up to 60 units altogether. So we plug one mains cable into the main supply, and then that goes into the first unit. And again we can daisy chain from that unit to the next unit and so on. Okay, so we've done the power cabling and the control cabling. If you notice on the back of these, they have dip switch settings. So these are to set your DMX address. This is done by a binary code. These particular RGB cans use 4 DMX channels. First one red, second green, third blue, and the last channel does your master, dimmer and strobe. So on the first unit we're going to put dip switch number 1 on, which represents DMX address 1. So we're going up in 4s. So the first one's 1, the next one is 5. So on this unit we're going to put switches number 4 and number 1 on. Okay, and again we're going up in 4s, so the next one will be DMX address 9. So we're going to put dip switch number 8 and number 1 on. And again up again in 4s, so the last one was 9, so the next one's going to be 13. So on this one we can put dip switch number 8, 4 and 1 on. As you can see on these dip switches here, I'm pushing all these switches to the on position. On these particular cans, to put them into DMX mode, you also have to put dip switch number 10 on. So we do that on each unit. Okay, so now we've set up the DMX addresses, the control cabling and the mains cabling. So now we're ready to power them up. When you first turn your controller on, it's in blackout mode. So you can press that blackout button to take it out of blackout mode. Okay. When you're using the controller manually or you're programming, you need to make sure it's in single preset, 1 to 24 single preset. You can change that by using the mode select. So we want that with the green light on. Okay, there's a fade slider. We want the fade timer at its quickest, so it's with the fade slider to the top. And we've got a master dimmer control here, so we also need that up to the top. So now we're ready to test our lights. So the first 4 sliders should be the first light, the next 4 will be the second, and so on. So we move up the first 4 sliders, we'll see that light comes on. So the first slider does red, the second does green, and the third does blue. On these particular Parcans, the 4th slider has 2 functions: dimmer, master dimmer, or strobe. So you'll find if we, for example, put it in red, and if we move that slider up above about 50%, and at some point it starts strobing. So it's always best to keep, if you don't want it strobing, it's always best to keep that slider always at just over 50%. So the next set of 4 sliders will do the next can. So again, we can test it, put up all the sliders. And then we move the 4th one down to just over 50%. And again, we can set red, green, blue, or you can colour mix them colours. So if you put the red and the blue together, it makes like a purpley pink.